Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in another video today. And today I'm going to be going over what I believe the Cleveland Cavaliers offseason plan should be after firing Bickerstaff head coach. I honestly don't agree with this fire. I think that Bickerstaff didn't do the best for Cleveland. I don't think that he was, there were definitely some questionable coaching decisions, but I feel like for Cleveland, I don't see they can make much of an improvement at the head coach position. I look at teams like the Lakers and the Suns, and I feel like those two teams, they can make head coaching improvements. The Suns did that by hiring Mike Budenholzer and letting go of Frank Vogel. I think whoever the Lakers bring in will probably be an upgrade over Darvin Ham. Solid coach, but with the names the Lakers are talking about, guys like J.J. Redick and other guys that have been mentioned to the Los Angeles Lakers, I believe would be better than the fit that Darvin Ham was with the Lakers. So if you look at teams like the Lakers and the Suns, I feel like they're making really good additions with their head coach, even though we don't even know who the Lakers have brought in yet. With the Cavaliers, I don't know, the two guys they're talking about bringing in, James Borrego, who is former Charlotte Hornets head coach, and then Kenny Atkinson, who's assistant head coach for Golden State and former head coach for the Brooklyn Nets. Kenny Atkinson wouldn't be a bad addition. He is, even though he might be on his way out, Coach Jared Allen in Brooklyn, Coach Karis LeVert in Brooklyn. So there are a couple of players who he could be on his way. He could be on his way out as well. He could get traded out of Cleveland. But I just believe that there are some players. But I just believe that Cleveland. I feel like JB Bickers, maybe unless there's some player like with the Lakers, Anthony Davis had a big problem with Darvin Ham. Durant had a big problem with Frank Vogel. Durant didn't speak to Vogel for a month. It was reported. AD had a big problem with Darvin Ham. Now there might be some players in the locker room who like JB Bickerstaff and like him as a head coach and want to see him stay, but when you got a big star like Anthony Davis or a big star like Kevin Durant wanting the head coach out, then the head coach is going to be out. So I can't help but wonder if maybe Donovan Mitchell had a play in this, and maybe he had a word about JB Bickerstaff, because what we've heard in the last couple weeks with these head coaches getting fired is Durant, with Durant and AD, not being biggest fans of their head coaches. Maybe this played a role into it, because the Cavs like JB Bickerstaff. I thought he did a really good job coaching them. But outside of Kenny Atkinson, I guess I couldn't really see an improvement. I mean, Kenny Atkinson was never really that bad of a coach in Brooklyn. But I feel like JB Bickerstaff is a better head coach than him. But I feel like Kenny Atkinson would be a solid addition, but I don't see anybody else being a good addition for this Cleveland Cavaliers team. I feel like Kenny Atkinson probably will be the way they go, but let's go over what the offseason plan should be for Cleveland after firing JB Bickerstaff. I have a trade happening. Like, for Cleveland, I don't see what the point is of trading their stars. I don't see the point of trading Darius Garland. I don't see the point of trading Donovan Mitchell. I think both of those guys had great seasons. Yes, very well might be might be that one of those players wants out. I could see it more being of Donovan Mitchell wanting out than Darius Garland. But if Donovan Mitchell wanted the head coach JB Bickerstaff, gone, and he got that, maybe he is more happier. Maybe some of these players are more happier. So I feel like Cleveland holds on to Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. I feel like getting rid of Donovan Mitchell or Darius Garland, or just completely selling, sends you back into potentially a rebuild state. I'm not going to say Cleveland's going to hit the rebuild state, but it very well could go down that way for Cleveland. And, after LeBron left Cleveland, after the 2017-18 season, they made it to the finals that year, Cleveland went down a dark road. And Cleveland, really sucked for some years after LeBron left. And, it's been like that both times LeBron has left Cleveland. And, they got multiple lottery picks. They were able to draft Colin Sexton. He was good, but didn't work out in Cleveland. Then they were able to draft Darius Garland. That panned out for Cleveland. Then they drafted Evan Mobley. Then they make the big trade for Donovan Mitchell. And, their team starts to assemble. They also traded for Jared Allen, traded for Karis LeVert. So they made big additions to their team. And finally, in the last couple of years, have been in the right place after LeBron leaving. This past season were the 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, I think they were the 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. So they were the 4 seed in the Eastern Conference last year. They were like the 6th or the 5th seed. So last couple years they've made the postseason. First 2 times they've made the postseason since LeBron left after the 2017-18 season. I don't see Cleveland tearing things apart unless they got a really nice offer for Donovan Mitchell. Like, I would think it'd take another all-star or superstar or a player that's at the Donovan Mitchell level for them to let go of Donovan. So I don't see that. I actually see them trading for a star than rather potentially getting rid of one. And that's what I'm going to get to. The trade I have Cleveland doing is trading away, it's a package, trading away Ty Jerome, Jarrett Allen, Karis LeVert, pick 20, and a future first-round pick for Brandon Ingram and Larry Nance Jr. Brandon Ingram would be that third star, or I guess you could say, that third star next to Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell. Then you got Darius Garland as the point guard and one of the other really good players on the team. And then you got Larry Nance Jr., who comes in and can play the 4 or the 5 off the bench. He can even start if you get a little bit injured, and I think he'd be a great addition. Cleveland has found themselves to get injury problems. Jarrett Allen found himself hurt a couple times throughout the year. Evan Mobley as well. So I feel like, Larry Nance Jr. would be a solid re-addition because he was on the Cavaliers roster. I feel like that'd be a really nice addition for this Cavaliers team. I don't know if New Orleans does it, but I know they're interested in Jarrett Allen. They're going to need a Jonas Valanciunas replacement. Karis LeVert's a guy who's a really good scorer off the bench. I think would be a really nice score for the Pelicans. You're also getting some draft capital in pick 20 this year and a future first-round pick, and you're giving up expiring contracts in Larry Nance Jr. and Brandon Ingram. I think this would be a solid trade for the Pelicans. Now, free agency moves. I think here has to be the following moves. Sign Monte Morris. I think you're going to need a backup point guard. And then the 2 re-signings I think Cleveland needs to make is re-sign Tristan Thompson. I've loved the depth that he provided off the bench at the center position. And then I think another re-signing that will be made is Isaac Okoro. He's a restricted free agent, so Cleveland won't be able to match any offer that's made to him. So I believe Isaac Okoro will be re-signed. Then after all that, and also one last thing, another restricted free agent, Amani Bates. He's a guy that is in his just finished up his first year, didn't get a little playing time. I feel like Cleveland's going to want to, is going to want to see more from him. He's not going to be, it's not going to, honestly, I don't know if I see any other teams potentially, trying to give him an offer. But if anybody tries to sign up, offering sheet with Amani Bates, I feel like Cleveland will match that. But I mean, that's the type of deal where he's getting like $3 to $5 million on a 3 or 4 year contract. So that's not a lot. Maybe they re-sign him to a 2-way deal. I don't know. But I feel like they're going to, if there's an offer that's made to Amani Bates, who's a very solid scorer and a nice player, and could become, a nice bench scorer for Cleveland if they trade away Karis LeVert, I feel like that'd be a really good, re-signing there. And then what does the team look after that? The starting lineup would be Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Brandon Ingram, and Evan Mobley. So you get to see Evan Mobley play, when times that Jarrett Allen has been healthy, Evan Mobley's played the 4. You're going to see Evan Mobley fully at the center position. Then off the bench, you have Isaac Okoro, Larry Nance Jr., George Niang, Monte Morris as your backup point guard, and Dean Wade. Other players coming off the bench, Tristan Thompson, Sam Morrell, Craig Porter Jr., You also have your 2-way contracts being Larry Nance's brother, Pete Nance, who's already been on the team, Isaiah Mobley, another brother, Evan Mobley's brother, and then Amani Bates, who probably gets re-signed at 2-way contract. So that shapes out the team. I believe that those are some moves that I believe Cleveland should make. I think Ingram would be a good spot, especially since Cleveland has interest. New Orleans has interest in Jarrett Allen. You add in some draft capital and a couple of first-round picks, a good scorer in Karis LeVert, and a salary filler in Ty Jerome. I think you could get that deal done. It's a couple expiring contracts for New Orleans, getting some nice capital back. And then, free agency signings, making, I think needed re-signings like Tristan Thompson, and not only Tristan Thompson, but Isaac Okoro, and then you also, of course, have, Amani Bates as well. Let me know your thoughts, and peace out.